First through rap, now through an educational center, artist Will Keeps' life just keeps evolving, and now his story is being told in a brand new book. Keeps has never had an easy life, but found ways to fight for a better life and turned his focus to help prevent violence within his community. Here to tell us more about his story is Will Keeps himself and co-author of his new book, Willpower, Danny Beyer. Thank you, fellas, for joining us this morning on Today in Iowa.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Will, you know, I think a lot of people in the community well know what you're doing now in giving back, but you have a book coming out October.
Yes, October 11th
of this year. What can people expect to learn maybe about you or even your mission in this book, Willpower?
It's basically my life, you know, how I grew up, the good and the bad. There's a lot of bad, you know, and how I overcame. And sometimes when I look back and I see all the things I've been through, I'm like, how am I even here? How am I even still functioning? You know, because, you know, there's a lot of trauma, you know, in my life, not just in my young life, but in my adult life. And so sometimes I feel like, I mean, what do God want from me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
So I'm trying to, like, really just listen to the word and listen to God and try to understand the mission he has for me. So this book is basically letting everybody know what I've been through and I'm still here. I always tell people I don't look like what I've been through, even though I'm scarred up, but I still don't look like what I've been through. So I want people to actually know my story.
Yeah, sometimes it can be hard for the community, young ones in particular, to see your success and what you're doing and see you upbeat, happy, and to think that maybe that you were in their shoes and maybe in far worse situation because they don't think that they can get to where you're at because their life seems so down and dark. So now this could put your information in their hand without even face-to-face interaction.
That's right. You know, they see me smiling. You're right. They see me like really like still fighting. But people don't understand sometimes the pain that is within me, you know, because of all the stuff that I've been through in my life. But I want to show people that, you know, you can fight through it. You know, I had no idea that, you know, that God created a warrior in me. I mean, I hate being scarred up. Like, I'm scarred all over my body. Yeah. You know, and I've been scarred as a kid and scarred as an adult. You know, and I hate it. You know what I mean? But this fight somebody has to get out there and really fight for what's going on out there and really try to help as much as they can. And I want to be that guy. I'm not running from anything. I want to go right towards it.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, telling your story, you can't do it alone. And also, we're joined by, you know, like we said at the beginning, Danny Beyer. Danny, you're also the mayor of Dallas Center. And, you know, so very familiar to some people, especially in the Northwest metro area. Yep. And now the connection, someone, you know, who grew up in a hard life in Chicago, scarred up physically, visibly and mentally, emotionally as well, with someone, maybe a mayor of a small Iowa, you know, town, might not be something that people are used to. But I feel like if people that have met Will and know the people that have backed, maybe starts right here, the educational center, or just follow his movement and back him. He brings people from all walks of life. What is it about him that allowed you to feel comfortable, even though drastically different upbringings, to be a team on this book?
That was the very first time I saw Will speak was with the Fuse DSM chamber. And I remember walking up to him, shaking his hand and saying, I want to grab coffee with you. I want to get to know you, because his passion and his story were so intense. I just had to know who he was a little bit more. He came over to me and to Book Press a couple months later saying he was interested in publishing a book. And it was one of those, like he said, God moments where something just said, you have to do this. And so after spending hundreds, if not thousands of hours, I think, together over the last 3 years.
3 years.
He gave me multiple pieces of homework, music I needed to listen to, books I needed to read, movies I needed to watch, just to help learn not only his background, but culture, everything else. And one of the most challenging, but one of the most rewarding things I've had the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
And this dude cracked me up all the time. Even when I'm down, he'll call me up and say something. He calls me by my full name sometimes to be making me want to throw him out the window.
Gotta have a relationship, right?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
friendly and,
yeah.
and down to earth, deep relationship. Danny, with your support and other people maybe hearing about Will's life for the first time and seeing what he does in the community, a lot of people may think, wow, that's great, but when we hear about groups that are helping teens, in the urban area, and they may not be from that area, maybe they live here, but they don't look like Will or the kids that he may be helping, why is it important, no matter what community? Dallas Center kids have hard times as well. It's not, you're not immune to it there. But why is it important for outsiders to maybe buy this book and help the movement or similar ones like it, even though they may not have people in their lives that are impacted?
I think that's an excellent question, and I can just frame it with everything that's going on in our nation right now. The closing chapters of the book hit hard on, you're completely right, there's all different areas, all different aspects of life, and Will is working to bring people together that you wouldn't normally put together in a room. Right, left, black, white, doesn't matter. As long as we're helping these kids, we're helping people be better than they were the day before. And that's truly what the mission in my interpretation of Starts Right Here and everything he's doing is to help move these kids forward, give them a second chance, give them an opportunity at life that they wouldn't have had without him being here.
Yeah. And lastly, a lot has happened since January, Will. The shooting that Starts Right Here. You yourself were critically injured. 2 students killed. One of the suspects, court date actually today. How have you been able to, move on and get recharged and still make a difference when others would be perfectly understanding if you said, "Hey, I did all my best. This is too dangerous. I have to stop."
Because there's a lot of kids out there who will still need help. And when that situation happened, like I told everybody, it made me madder. Like I wanted to fight even harder, and I wanted to get so many people involved. Like I tell people all the time that I have to look just as beautiful as the drug dealer, look just as beautiful as the gangster as the streets. So when it's time for them to choose, they choose me instead of choosing them. And the only way I can do that is to have the support by I don't care who you are, everybody, just to help keep this mission going. So there's no way that I was gonna let that situation happen and run. That situation happened, and I decided to move forward. With some people are upset that I kept moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Some people are upset with me about so many different things, but I'm just being me. This is who I am. I'm ready to fight. I've been a fighter all my life, and I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? I kept moving forward. Every time I took some steps backwards, and I took a lot of steps backwards, but I kept taking steps forward, and I started thinking about those steps that I took forward, and I started concentrating on that. And those are some of the things I'm trying to teach the kids. Remember the steps you took forward. Start believing in that, and stop believing in all the ones you take back. Learn from it, but believe in the ones you took, the steps you took forward. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to teach these kids, about motivating them. I always say it's not about what you've been through, but it's how you get through. We got to all get through.
Yeah, that's right. All get through, do it together, learn what makes Will tick and his motivation from his book, Willpower, coming out in October. Thank you, Danny, for being a part of his story as well. And hopefully people can get the book. Where can they get the book when it is available?
They can get it. It'll be available nationally, online, Amazon, as well as through the Book Press website.
All right. Be prepared for that. Thank you so much for sharing this information and your powerful words of positivity in the community and for being part of that as well.